Antony's son. Anil Antony has put in his papers citing intolerance within the Congress party, saying that he had put out a tweet critical of the BBC and because of which he was asked to withdraw that. He refused to do so. He says the party is full of sycophants, and he's also been critical of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. The trek of love, in spite of the trek of love, there is intolerance, is what Mr. Anil Antony, the son of A.K. Antony, senior leader of the Congress party, somebody who's been seen really as a troubleshooter of the Congress party, has held important portfolios when the UPA was in power. He was the defense minister. In fact, I'm being joined by Mr. K.J. Alphonse from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you for your time. Your reaction to Mr. Anil Antony saying that there's intolerance and hence I'd resign from the Congress.
No, I'm extremely happy that Anil Antony has shown the guts to speak up, to stand up for the truth, and then to respond accordingly. I'm very happy that he's had the guts to resign. I mean, this is something which, of course, his father would not have the guts to do so, but then the son has shown the guts to do so. I mean, look at it, the BBC documentary, everybody has seen it. It's such a bit of rubbish, and, they have their own agenda, and putting out this kind of stuff 20 years after the incident, and in which, of course, the Supreme Court of India has completely accelerated the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. And then for BBC to make a documentary like that, I think every Indian has to stand up, and that is what Anil Antony has done. And if the Congress party cannot digest that, I think they have to face the consequences of what the people of India think. And I'm extremely happy that Anil Antony has taken this very, very bold step. Congratulations, Anil, and I'm very proud of what you have done, that you stand up for the truth and for the country.
You know, at the end of the day, there would be many within the Congress party, Mr. Alphonse, who would be critical of the BBC documentary in spite of the fact that they're within the Congress party. In that sense, if one person is speaking about intolerance, it's evident that the Congress is, in that sense, uncomfortable with the fact that there are many who say that, let's not take this documentary as the gospel truth, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people who watched the documentary would have told themselves, well, this is not true. I mean, this is not correct. This is not fair to the person and to India. Many people would feel so, but of course, in the Congress party, there are very few people with a backbone. And even the G20, G23, I mean, initially they showed some kind of a guts to speak up, but then eventually they all kind of fell in line. Most of them fell in line. So this backbone is a very rare quality in the Congress party, and I'm extremely happy that it's not only that somebody feels about it, but he's got the guts to speak about it. I'm very, very happy.
Also, there's been a trend within the Congress party. At the end of the day, Anil Antony wasn't somebody who was, had really dabbled in electoral politics. So electorally, it's not really a setback for the Congress. However, perception-wise, it is that many young leaders are not approving of what's really going on within the party. They're critical of the so-called culture of sycophancy is what they repeatedly talk about. And that's the reason why they're quitting. Perception-wise, it's a setback to the Congress, sir.
Yeah, obviously, I see Anil Antony is not a big gun in the Congress party, but of course his father was and continues to be a very big gun, very influential person, very close to the family. And even though Anil is not a senior leader, he's not a big leader, but I think in terms of perception, I think it's very important that a young person who is the son of a very senior Congress leader, in fact, number 2, I think, in the entire Congress setup, has spoken up. And I think this should give courage to a whole lot of other people to speak up and say, this is not correct. In a democracy, you can't have a political party like this. And in a democracy, you should stand up with the elected government. I mean, even if once somebody has won an election, and the leader becomes a prime minister, I think the country needs to accept that that person is the prime minister of the country, not of a party alone. And therefore stand up for the country, just not standing up for a particular person. I think that's what Anil has done, and that's remarkable.
Thanking you for the moment, Mr. Alphonse, for joining us with your views on that story. So, senior BJP leader from Kerala, in fact, sharing his views about what Mr. Anil Antony has done, speaking about intolerance within the Congress party, put in his papers. He spoke earlier to India Today. Listen in.
Anil, that was a very strong tweet that you had put out yesterday. but it was absolutely unexpected that you will be next day, within hours, putting a resignation letter. What happened?
See, there is nothing unexpected or something which is very drastic about it. Yesterday I had made a tweet which was done with the best of my intentions and with my conscience in the clear, where I had said something which is very clearly, and that is like, despite having a lot of political differences with the BJP, I do think that when it comes to certain matters of national interest, especially when it comes to issues where the core interest of our country, including our sovereignty, is concerned, we shouldn't compromise that for politics. That was a very simple, generic tweet that I have made in the morning, and I still stand by that. But then the backlash I faced from some in the party, especially those in Kerala, like, I found it to be a little sad as well as a little discouraging, where end of the day, initially there were a few calls from, I wouldn't like to name anybody at this moment, but maybe at a later point I will speak about it. But there were a lot of pressure from here as well as in the state